Hi, friends. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. Dr. Ruth Anderson and Teri Angel here for a meditation a day. Today, we are doing what we call meditation excavation. And that's when we go into meditation together with you right here, and we just share with you the messages that Spirit is sharing with us. So we're pleased to have you here with us. Teri, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Ruth. What a delight to be with you. I love our Wednesdays together. So let's connect in with our hearts and call in the angelic realm to help us out through this time that we're going to spend together to see what we need to know. So, friends, breathe into your heart center. If you want to place your hand there, it just brings the focus more clear. And I'm going to ask for Archangel Raphael to come forward with the energy of healing, the element of air, so you might feel some air movement. I'm calling on Archangel Michael with the element of fire and helping us to know that we are safe. This is a safe place to do our work. We're always guarded and guided by Michael. And then asking Archangel Gabriel to come in with the element of water to clear and cleanse, helping us to have clarity with anything that comes through in this meditation time. And then we go to Uriel. Archangel Uriel, the element of earth. Uriel helps us to ground and balance and keeps us centered. So we're going to ask Uriel right now to guide our breath. Just breathe into your heart. Let the breath travel down the length of your body, out the bottom of your feet, and into the earth, going right to the core of our Mother Gaia, being nurtured, fed, loved, and held securely so that we can feel that we can stand on our own without tipping over, bringing in that energy of balance into our lives. Breathe that energy back up to your heart. Just anchor it there. Just let it stay right there, feeling centered and safe to go on and do the rest of the meditation as we call in the divine. Our next breath, we're going to focus up and out, traveling to the great central sun, right there where the Creator is watching and touching as we do our meditation together, bringing in inspired downloads of energy, inspired thoughts, visions, visualizations. And we call on Divine Mother to hold us as we do this work and guide us down the path. We call on Christ consciousness. And we ask the Holy Spirit to bring through whatever needs to come through from our lips. Any of the ascended masters, angels and archangels, loved ones in spirit, we welcome you into our time together. Let's bring that breath now back into our heart, connecting in the divine with the beautiful earth energy. And let's sit with that as we open up to what Spirit wants to show us today. And Ruth, I'm already feeling a lot of earth energy. So I'm not sure what they're wanting us to look at or do, but it has something to do, it feels like, with uplifting our planet right now.
It's definitely earth energy. And what I've been watching, and my brain's trying to make sense of it. First, they were showing me a bullseye as if we were heading toward the bullseye,
Right, the target.
the target. But as I'm looking at this bullseye, it's as if the planet has been rearranged. And so the waters, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes are on the outside circle. And the land masses have been smooshed together to be the next inside circle. And then the very middle circle is nature. Can you follow that?
Yes. Interesting.
I heard the word happenstance, and I'm not sure if in comparison, the scattering of the continents was happenstance.
Mm.
What an interesting concept.
Right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it feels like it's part of the illusion of separation. Are we really separate? Our nations, our countries separated, the continents separated. But we're within that big ball, the big circle. And I think we can find that oneness even if we have the appearance of being separated by bodies of water.
The chimes like this meditation. I don't know if you can hear them.
Mm-hmm.
So what I just heard was it could have been this way, like the creation of the planet could have been this way, or it could have been other ways. They're showing me it's kind of like a checkerboard, water, land, water, land, water, land. I mean, there's many, many ways that this could have come together. Well, and don't they say, Terry, or am I making this up, that I'm sorry, that the land masses used to be connected, but then became separated through like plate tectonics and that kind of thing?
Asteroids hitting the planet and creating a divide. Yeah, because there's a lot to be said for things like the Great Lakes, and that those used to be just land mass and connected land mass. I don't know why I'm hearing this. It's not making any sense with the meditation, but I'm hearing boats, planes, and automobiles. I have no idea why they just wanted me to say that.
Because they connect people over these in that separation, that people will always find people.
I like that thought. So when we are feeling ourselves as remote from others and not able to reach out and touch somebody right there where we're at, do we devise something that's going to assist us in traveling to where that connection can happen, even if it may be our own minds, our own meditation times and visualization times, astral travel, whatever it takes to come back together. I think we're always seeking that togetherness, that oneness, and feeling part of the oneness of all that is.
Yep. We need each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just had a thought come to mind about like the monks who are so remote and so distanced from the rest of the world and pretty much have their own little microcosm of the world. Do they make it beyond that need that we're talking about, that feeling like there's something out there that we need to connect with? Or do they simply do it with their own peace inside, their contentment, knowing that they're connected in, but not having to have the physical sense of it?
Right. If their oneness is with God, maybe that's all they need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the knowingness that they're not alone, even though they're remote, they're not alone.
So, what a good reminder of how little we are, how minute we are in this whole greater scheme of plate tectonics and the planet. And we all think we're so important in our own universe, but really not so much.
Right. And I think we feel the shifts of energy that happen. We feel it in our own bodies, in our own way of being, our essence. So there's maybe times when we feel like there's a divide and we feel distant from the creator, distant from others, but we're really not. And I think that's what they were showing, is even though we see continents, we see nations, that we're really not distant. We're still connected. Ooh, we're connected underneath. So just like when I talk to the trees or we talk to our plants in our gardens, there's a connection that happens underneath the soil through those roots, through the energy. And so are we, they're saying. We are connected as individual entities. We're not really all alone at all.
Well, I know in Asian countries, they talk about the red thread that connects people. Even if you can't see it, there is a connection.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a reminder that whenever we feel disconnected, if you will, from God, from spirit, the creator, source, whatever you call it, we're not. It's not possible to not be connected, but we create these barriers that don't really exist.
Mm-hmm.
Our being created here is not happenstance. That's what I'm hearing.
We were created on purpose.
That's interesting. I'm just thinking about when they said before that it was like happenstance, that this is what the land masses look like at this point. But yet the creation of each one of us was so profoundly crafted with such love. It's like a carpenter, like whittling a little figurine or something, done with such love, such purpose. That song, His Eye is on the Sparrow. And I know he's watching me. Is that how that goes?
Yes. Yeah, there were a lot of teachings, especially that Jesus did, about being as innocent as like the birds. They don't worry themselves about if they're going to be taken care of or be fed or get in out of inclement weather. And here we are as humans wondering, where's my next meal coming from? And how am I going to have a roof over my head? So the faith, I think, the trust is what was being shown to us in all of those teachings and those parables. Go back into the innocence. Know that you are protected and guided and connected in with the energy of the oneness of all. It's a big lesson.
I'm still being shown the target. And the arrow that's coming toward it, it's like we are on that arrow, and it's like hurtling toward this target. And I heard bracing for impact. But it's funny because it's not the target that is bracing, it's us.
Right. Yeah.
What is that? Is this about our ability to have an impact, make an impact? But when I look at our figurines, if you will, on this arrow, it doesn't look like we're ready. Maybe we don't feel ready for whatever impact we're going to be making.
Being on that arrow, preparing us, is that the readiness. You know, as a dart player, I've thrown darts at the bullseye, that big target, and it lands somewhere else. It doesn't go straight to the target.
Right.
So are we part of how that arrow travels right to the center? Or does things like our doubts, our insecurities, our not feeling worthy enough or ready enough, does that make the arrow drop to a different place other than the target? Can we stay on center by centering ourselves?
Well, and that's assuming that center is the only place an arrow would want to go.
Mhm.
And that's a big assumption right there.
Right? Is the target somewhere other than the very middle as you're looking at that circle within the circle within the circle? It's part of our path going to a different place where the energy will make a big impact.
Or if we're uncertain, does it land where it's going to land, but it's like a dud because we weren't ready?
Mm-hmm. Right. The angels have always told me there's no failure. So if we didn't land somewhere to make an impact, if it's just sitting idly there, it's not a failure, it's a lesson.
Right.
So doing the inner reflection of how how did I get here? Did I doubt myself? Did I need to do more of the connecting through the breath work, connecting through spirit to get me back on my path? And sometimes we're just stubborn and we're going to go where we're going to go. And no matter how much we're nudged and shown the way to get to where our path is, sometimes we just explore. And we're like, no, I'm going to go here now. I think we direct that arrow. It's not some big entity that's tossing the arrow and we have to go wherever it says to go.
Right. Well, if we create our own reality and we sit back and go, no, not ready for this. No, then that is creating that reality. It's creating a reality. It's like a path unchosen.
Mhm.
You're still on a path. It's becoming part of your life. It's just a door unopened, a path unchosen.
It's not wrong, it's not right. It's just what's happening in that moment of time that we decide which way to go. We make choices every minute.
Right. And it's not right or wrong, they're just different options.
Mhm. Yeah. Nobody says you have to go right to the center.
Right. And I do see on this arrow lots of angels with us.
Mhm.
So the support is there for whichever way we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess when people say, I don't know what my next steps are, I'm not sure there could be a wrong step. It might just lead you in a different direction.
Go around in circles a few times.
Yeah. And that's not wrong either.
Yeah. Yeah. But it may be a motivator. So if you find yourself back at the same beginning point and thinking that you were supposed to go somewhere else or end up in a different place, it's a time to reflect and say, okay, what do I want? Where would I like to land on that great big circle? And just set your sights and make different choices, make better choices, maybe than the ones that landed you in that circular pattern of circling and not being able to land.
Well, it's interesting too, looking at this. You and I are together on this arrow. It's not each of us on our individual arrow, it's you and I together.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that that's just for figurative purposes. I think that's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes we are connected to somebody on a soul level and we do work on life goals together. And I'm sure, times that one person is stronger than the other and maybe setting the speed or the direction, and the other one is kind of going along for it, going, yeah, I know we're supposed to do this together, but right now You're the lead. And it doesn't mean you're not doing your own thing, but sometimes you are connected with somebody. And I mean, like Teri and I have been connected, and we do have common goals, but we also have our own individual goals. And there are times that Teri's the stronger one, or times that I'm the stronger one. And, the other one will just kind of go, okay, you be in charge for right now, because I've either got this thing going on or, whatever. But there's a common purpose. It's just sort of interesting that they're showing us on this arrow together.
I'm just grinning because before you started even explaining that about working together with someone, but you're also individual and have your own arrow, I was thinking that exact same thing. And I was thinking how, as a dart player, you have three darts that you throw, and that's a turn. So, in our turn of life, do we interact in different ways with those three arrows that are headed toward the center? Do we meet up with somebody else or a group that we are on an arrow together toward a common purpose, a goal? Do we have our own arrow that it's just us in spirit?
Right.
We're guided and we stay on that path, or we deviate and say, no, I'm going to go over here now. And then what is that third arrow? Interesting. I'm not getting what the third arrow would be.
So when you said that, I was actually envisioning the first one is you in concert with one or more people. The second one to me looks like you by yourself, your purpose, your intention, your life focus, your relationships, your arrow. To me, the third one looks like you in concert with spirit.
I love that. I love how spirit uses threes. And, I think it's pretty common knowledge that it's said there's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And then, like every big thing that's explained to us for us to understand, it's usually in threes and triad energy.
Mhm.
And, even the pyramids, three-sided. So there's a lot to be said about the number three and working with that energy and seeing the threes that show up in our lives.
Well, and none of these darts, if you will, is more important than the other.
Mm. Yeah, all equally important.
And they're all moving forward. I mean, if you think you're not making any forward progress in your life, your dart's still moving forward.
Mm-hmm. It might fall on the floor and you have to pick it up, but it is in motion. That's how energy works. Energy is always in motion. It doesn't stop. Sometimes it can get slowed down, but it never just stops and dies out.
It's interesting because as I'm looking at those three darts, there's angels on every single one of them. There's support
Mm-hmm.
for every single one of those.
Right.
And this is a lifetime. Getting to that landing spot, whatever that is, it's a lifetime.
Mhm.
So it's also, if it's a lifetime, it's also like a timeline.
And every time we incarnate, every time we're going through these experiences, and it's interesting. I know life is not a game, but darts is a game that was developed, and there's going to be a winning dart. There's going to be that last dart thrown that either you throw or your opponent, somebody else throws. So isn't that interesting that in our lives that we live, we either are choosing, okay, that's it, I'm done now, and we throw that last arrow, that last dart, or somebody else does something to take us out. They throw the last dart. It's all metaphors. They're filling Deb's energy big time because it's all a metaphor for what's happening and living on this planet, living in this experience.
And it's interesting because Divine Mother has been leading our meditations for probably, I don't know, geez, the last 6 months. And this is not. This feels more like Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel, and also I'm feeling Jophial. And so it's interesting that we went into the energy of three because that's Jophiel's number. Working with her, and I'll be teaching her tonight, and some of this is falling right in there with it. That she does guide. She's a wonderful guide for us to have more clarity and more sense of our own worth, our own beauty. So I think she jumped in here in our meditation time today.
Well, it's funny because you get used to a guide and you get used to how they present information and you get in that flow. And this meditation has felt decidedly different. And it's because somebody else is guiding it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes with our meditations, it's a introduction to information that we're going to be getting later. And I think that that's what this is, an introduction.
Mm-hmm.
And I do sense Jophiel for sure. So that'll
Yeah.
be interesting to do your class tonight and see if there's more information about this.
Yeah. Yeah, because we always meditate with the angel. That's the angel of the month. And see where that takes us tonight. I'm feeling the circles big time. Yeah, I'm not getting anything else, Ruth. I think what you just said about it being the introduction, there'll be more to come. As they like to say, the rest of the story.
Well, then I was smiling because I was watching Jophial. It's like she's getting all ready for tonight. She's like, she just put on a different little cape or something. It's like, oh, she's
Mhm.
ready for tonight.
She's
That's
got
fun.
her sparkles on. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Well,
yeah, me too.
Terry, I don't even have a recap on this because I need to work on synthesizing it to
Mhm.
see how that falls in line. But thank you so much for this time together. And friends, thank you for being here at Enlightened World Network. We're always being taught lessons, and we're so fortunate to have a lifetime worth of lessons waiting for us there. So, friends, take good care. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.